A little bruised from yesterday, but that's okay. Nothing unusual there, that's for sure. Joe, how you doing this morning?
Well, I had this dream that Kansas won. It didn't happen, so that was a terrible bet. I'm gonna admit it. They didn't put out what I expected yesterday. So sorry, you guys who rode them with me on the money line. I still look at it, and the value was there. If they could pulled it out, going into halftime, they were close. They were within a touchdown.
Absolutely. Well, for some reason, let me see something. I think you're not showing. There we go. All right. It was like we had you up on the screen with a blank spot there. It's like, but
I deserve a blank spot after taking Kansas on the money line yesterday.
To me, it's like, you do the halftime shows with me, so and I mean everyone knows I've been doing this for a long time. 15 years I've been doing this video thing, so everyone knows. I mean, I'm Mr. Dog of the Day, and I'm going to start doing that again tomorrow. I was going to do it this morning, but I am going to start the Dog of the Day again tomorrow over at Sports Chat Place. But the guys who lead the league in home runs are the same people that lead the league in strikeouts. It's the same thing. You have to swing for the fences in sports betting. It's not about, I don't like that, like, I can only bet 2% on my bankroll. I can only bet one game or whatever. Whatever games fit my thing, I bet them all, and I don't care. I mean, you guys watch the halftime show. Oh, that's crazy. You took the Lions on the money line? Hell yeah, I'm taking the Lions on the money line. 2-1 on our money. We're cashing. It's like covers my lousy Kansas bets, It's like, I wonder where the hell I got that one from.
I don't know. She should be just like head off, right? Under the guillotine today.
No, it's
That's
like,
for sure.
Those are the ones. It's like, people will say, whatever they like about it, but, that is how you make money in sports betting. It's like, all you need to do is hit 2 of those, right? So it paid like plus 700. So if you hit 2 of those out of, 10, you're plus money.
Oh, for sure you are. Someone once told me scared money doesn't make money. Yeah, I believe it.
Well, we're gonna have Tony Brown in here, and he knows that I don't believe in scared money. He's seen me in action in Vegas, and he's seen me parlay the hard 4 a couple times up at the craps table. So he knows just how fast it can happen, even though people will look me crazy. So let's bring Tony in to get today started. And morning, Tony.
Top of the morning, everyone.
So were you with me at Casino Royale when I was at the craps table and I had the hard 4 parlayed up? I had hit the hard 4 for a quarter, and it was parlayed. I parlayed it all the way up, and I hit it again, and the guy turns to me and says, "Nice bet." And I looked at him. I said, "You're that freaking Boise quarterback that cost me." He's like, it was rodeo week. He had the big cowboy hat on. I'm like, I know exactly who you are.
Like, out of everything that was going on, that was the only thing that was on your mind, because he blown a cover for you a while back, and that you just called him out on it, like right on the spot.
Yeah, it was those. I miss Vegas, that's for sure. Definitely.
I'm
so
back.
What's the mood like in Vegas this morning? Joe D'Amico, the host of Vegas, not with us today. I think that Alabama-Purdue parlay put him under for the day. But how's the mood in Vegas for week 2 of the NFL season? Joe and I both in the Circa and Westgate contest, so we're excited about today and everything going on in Vegas. But we know opening week is always big. Is the momentum still there?
Yeah, it's still here. This isn't a costume. This is my second Raider jersey I wore on the show. We're still hyped from Baltimore's win, and now we're going to beat Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, we're giant killing. And, I'm a fan, so you guys know I'm going to talk about my team. But to be honest with you, this is par for the course. Last year, everybody was like, oh, no way they beat Drew Brees, and we beat him. And no way we can beat Lamar Jackson when he comes in, and we beat him. And so Ben Roethlisberger, they won last week or whatever, but they were down 10-0. They didn't even have no points at the halftime, like 10-0. They could not score in the first half. So they're not no juggernaut. They're not unstoppable or anything like that. We got Josh Jacobs at the running back. We got Darren Waller at the tight end. Like, they could possibly be on the Pro Bowl team this year. Derek Carr showed that he's ready to lead us at the helm. We got Henry Ruggs. He's the fastest man in the league. Speed kills. I don't only think the Raiders cover. I think they get this one outright in Pittsburgh.
I love it. I agree with you 100%. I'm so behind your Raiders right now. Coming in with that momentum, they've got this game.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Like this isn't a fan pick for me. This is literally I'm putting my money behind this one. And Pittsburgh isn't as tough as we think. Buffalo had them exposed. It's just the halftime adjustments they made them or whatever. We're not Buffalo. We're gonna put up way more points than that. And if Pittsburgh can't keep up, they won't be able to win.
I'm all over the Steelers in this one. The cheap call was invented in Pittsburgh. Remember, the replay became part of the NFL because of the cheap call in Pittsburgh. It was too many cheap calls. They go over the line there in Pittsburgh, and we got to remember that in the NFL, the worst calls are not reviewable. They do not fall under the reviewable umbrella and the very worst calls. And the cheap call, the Cordell Stewart touchdown, is what caused instant replay in the NFL. So the cheapest of cheap, lousy calls happen in Pittsburgh, and they're always in the Steelers' favor. We saw the Steelers get the cheap call in Buffalo last week. It resulted in a touchdown, turned the entire momentum of the game backwards. And I just think this is a miserable spot for the Raiders coming off of that emotional win on Monday night. Short week, go to Pittsburgh where, I mean, you want to talk about a defense. Did you see these guys in preseason? Their third string was better than anybody on the Jaguars. I mean, really, the whole third string was. Plus, they got Najee Harris at running back, too, so another Alabama back. But I believe Jacobs is out, but Drake is a speedster. I mean, he can cover it, but I don't know about Carr with TJ Watt and, all those guys. And then Minka Fitzpatrick, I mean, this guy's just a ball hawk. I'm going to have to disagree with you guys on this one. I love you personally, but I like getting the cheap call and not having it work against me. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Now,
What do you guys think on the total on this one? I'm looking at a pretty high-scoring game. We're seeing this line open at 49, down to 46.5 on some books. I'm hitting this over. I think if the Raiders win this, it goes over.
Yeah, I stay away from totals, and if I did do a total, I have to go under. Pittsburgh had 0 points at the half last time, and then the Raiders, we also had 0 points. We had to make a comeback against Baltimore, so we got two teams that actually went scoreless in the first half of week one, so it's not like we're just going to be able to shoot up points at will. And Mitch just mentioned Pittsburgh has one of the best defenses in the game, so I think points are going to be few and far between in this one. We're going to try to keep it on the ground. Pittsburgh's going to keep it on the ground. And I don't know if we're going to get to 52 points. I think it's at 51 right now. But I'm not touching the total. I'm just touching the Raiders. Always be safe. Take them +6. I'm a fan. I'm a fanatic. I'm out here gambling. I'm going on the money line. But grab those 6 points, man. You never know what could happen. 6 points is too many to give anybody. So just take those.
I don't know. That short week, it's got to scare you, especially after that emotional game, that they won in Vegas against the Ravens. Kind of
We're
scares
going
me.
off the grain, though, with that. If we're going about the short week and, emotional stuff and things of that nature. And if I'm not mistaken, Baltimore had the #1 defense in the NFL last season overall. So, I mean, Pittsburgh may have a good defense, but they weren't the best defense in the league. And, you saw what happened to Baltimore. So I don't think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be too much for us.
Baltimore was missing key players from that defense, including Marcus Peters, who's like not just one of the best players on that defense, but one of the best corners in the entire NFL. So they're a different defense with Humphreys and Peters at the corners, because when you have guys that can cover in man, when you have two corners that can cover in man coverage like that, basically that frees up the other 9 guys to blitz the passer. But now you have to go into double coverage to go in that spot for Peters, and then you have to compensate in other areas, so you can't always bring that free man anymore. So, I mean, I think that changes the dynamics of the team. And it's just, that's just my take. I don't know crap about the X's and O's, but that's what I see from watching, however many 100 years old I am, whatever you guys, YouTube audience will tell us exactly how old I am. But, the thing is that for me, it's like the most important positions on a team in any level of football is the nose tackle and the corners. If you have corners that can cover man like that, and that's why Bobby Humphrey, what do they call him? The bionic man, the $1 million man, or whatever he is, they call him, or Humphrey on the Ravens, because he makes so much money because he can cover man coverage. So, because if you have those guys that can cover man coverage, it allows the other guys to blitz the passer. And in a league where you're not allowed to play defense anymore because tackling is a penalty, we saw it on Thursday night, right? If you tackle somebody, it's a penalty. The only chance you have to stop another team, because punting has gone out the window, right? The punter is now the easiest job in the NFL. You don't even have to punt, right? You don't have to do anything. What they do is they have 2 guys that run super fast, right? really fast guys that can jump like crazy. They call them cover corners, right? They cover the receivers one-on-one. Everybody else blitzes on every single play. They attack the quarterback, and then hopefully they get enough pressure that the quarterback throws it just a little bit off target, a little bit of a lob. And these guys are dart throwers, right? These quarterbacks these days. These guys are unbelievable. I mean, you see this Kyler Murray, he runs like a 4.2 40. It's like Michael Vick, you know. It's like I thought that was like an outlier, but now it's like very common. And then, so what they do is they just blitz everybody else, right? And then they wonder why the quarterbacks are always hurt, right? Oh, we got to protect the quarterback. No, by making these rules that you're not allowed to cover in passing is why your quarterbacks are getting hurt. Now, the other position, the nose tackle position, the reason why that's important is because everybody's blitzing on every play. If you have a guy like Vince Wilfork, 350 pounds or so, in the middle that occupies more than one blocker, maybe two, maybe even three, well, now you got unblocked blitzers coming at the quarterback. More injuries, you know.
That works against Buffalo or something, but if you blitz the Raiders or if you try to put Henry Ruggs in man coverage, you think 4.1 speed from Kyler Murray's fast. He's the fastest man in the NFL running the 40. So you try to put him in man coverage. Let's see how that works out for you.
I understand. I love Ruggs. I like, you know, I loved the Ruggs pick at the time, and I thought it was even better. The thing we all really liked about the Ruggs pick is the Eagles thought they had him, right? And then the Raiders took him, and it was like, oh no, what do we do? And then they just take anybody, right? It's like, we'll just take anybody. How about Raygor or something? How do you say that? All right, we'll take him.
I mean, that's why they play the games, and they don't play them on paper. This should be a good one. It starts at 10, so we're just a few hours out.
I love this. I love this matchup because to me it's a very traditional matchup. And up here, I have my Raiders banner, my Oakland Raiders banner from Super Bowl II. So somewhere on my set.
Wow. I wasn't born yet.
I was at the game. Anyways. What else you got for us, Tony?
Other than that, we're going with the Jets game, and we want to go under 43 in that game. I'm going with a total, Joe, and again, it's the under. We got two rookie quarterbacks in that game, man. They scored 16 and 14 points respectively in game one. We all know how tough this league is. You decide whether you want your rookies to start or learn. You know, it's a learning curve. It's the NFL. It's the fastest game in the world, and week one, it wasn't enough for them to catch up, and I don't think 2 weeks will be enough for them to catch up. And they already had offenses that were, even if you put a veteran quarterback back there, the Jets are the Jets. So I think we're going to get another low-scoring game out of the rookies, and 44 points to beat us will be a chore.
Joe, can you imagine?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Joe,
I agree with you.
Can you imagine being in a restaurant with Tony Brown and I talking sports? They have to come over. They do this.
Definitely would be a lot of fun. No, Tony, I'm totally with you on that. I think these defenses are going to lead this game today. We've got two unproven offenses. Give me the under on that one all day long.
I'm with you on the under too. I love this one where it's a triple threat on this one. I could see this one going under 33. I could see a lot of field goals in this one.
Small, they're not going to put up a lot of points today.
I love Michael Carter on the Jets. I thought it was one of the best draft choices out there, especially when they got him. And Mac Jones is the king of the check down, right? I mean, this guy will not throw the ball downfield. He only checks it down. It's like eventually he's going to throw one, but so far all we see him is checking down. Preseason, check down every single pass, and last week, check down just about every single pass.
1 tutty, 3 field goals. That's not going to get it done in this league.
It's not going to get it done. It's going to be 16 something, right?
Yeah, this line is moving, guys, so get it too before it keeps coming down at all these books.
Do you have anything else, Tony, or is that
that was it for the free plays today? We just got 2 free plays because I have a big card on the site for sale. We got 3 NFL games, the morning, noon, and night, so you can break your bookie all day long. We got the 10 a.m. game. This is West Coast time. I'm on the West. We got the 1 p.m. afternoon game, and then we got the Sunday night football game. All 3 plays are for sale individually, and you can get them in the triple play. And we didn't forget about baseball. Just because everybody's looking at football, there's still some great baseball with great value. I got 3 plays in the MLB today. So 6 plays total, 3 from the MLB and 3 from the NFL. Close the week Sunday, saved my best for last, and we're going out with a bang.
Solid. half dozen plays for Tony Brown on a Sunday, but there's actually 30 games, right? 29 games today. So really, it's really not that much. And of course, someone like me, I could find, 29 games, I could find probably 700 bets in there. So
right.
Six solid amount of games there for you. But all right, thanks for joining us, Tony. You're going to be back with us next week, Saturday, Sunday?
Weekend, all the time, man. As long as you'll have me, I love being here.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for joining us.
Best of luck today, Tony.
Everybody, good luck, everyone.
Once again, that was Tony Brown from Vegas with his Raiders jersey on. But
it's okay. We can still like him, right?
Of course. No, it's like Tony Brown is he's my guy, It's like Rod will always bring this up to me, before the morning show, and he's especially when he's in his Rod good moods, It's like, so these people, they have different rules, so not everybody has the same things, same rules. Pretty much. It's like,
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. That's a lot of fun having
so
Tony
Tony
on.
Brown gets special treatment. As a matter of fact, he does.
Yeah, Mitch plays favorites.
I do. It's like never said I didn't. But anyways, we got
a little pudding, and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Tony and I go way back. Tony, he was back, back when I was doing something else, in a different situation. Tony had approached us and asked to be on the website, and my business partner at the time was like, no. And I was like, I don't care what you say. How about that? I want this guy. I like him. He's a go-getter. He's out there. Tony was kind of like just making his way through Twitter and kind of, doing what people do. They weren't just saying, hey, I want to be on your website. I can pick games, and all this other stuff. He was hustling, It's like, I think that's what it takes. It's like anybody can go out there and go, 5-0 on a Sunday, or 5-0 on a Saturday. I'm not saying it's easy and it happens all the time. I'm saying it can happen, but it's like, try doing it over, try just showing up the day after you go 0-2, or try just, try doing it over the course of a year or two, or 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years. And, speaking of which, we'll bring in James Clark, who was one of our winners of our Become a Capper contest last year. We'll be having another contest, and you guys can see. James, welcome to the show. First time on the Saturday. And, we'll have a few things that we want to talk about, but the first one is, you did win our Become a Capper contest last year, but actually, you've continued to just smoke it on the leaderboards as well. I know there was an adjustment period that it was kind of like, from just becoming someone that's, capping your own games and, taking advice from other people, and then becoming a capper, and the daily grind of what it is to say, I can't Ruffalo this. I got to play games every day. I got to kind of, have something.
Yeah, it is, Mitch. You don't really realize it. You're when I first started a capping contest, putting 3 games in. But, when you get basically down to it, people think this is easy. It's not as easy as it looks. I know we're on camera giving out picks, and, everybody's like, I want to do this, I want to do this. But you really got to want to do it, to maintain, to win, and, to try to get the upper edge, and, to stay on top of the leaderboard, or just on the leaderboard, period. You actually have to, work hard and give an effort, man, if you want to really be good at this.
Absolutely. I'll take the words out of Joe Madden's mouth for you on that one.
You did. It's a daily grind, you guys. Yeah,
because, I mean, most of the people that we have on here, have come up through the ranks in one way or another, whether Tony Brown or Joe Madden. I mean, it's all possible. You just have to put the work in. It doesn't happen in a day, and it doesn't happen in whatever. It's like, Joe had a lot of choices where she could go, and she put herself in that position. It wasn't because there's other women out there tweeting out picks and, doing things like that. But Joe, she's not just some woman tweeting out picks, right? She brings it.
I'd say even for me right now, I'm on the website, and I'm giving out picks, but I still got all kinds to work on. I mean, and I got people to help me, that you sent my way, Mitch, that you helped me, and, Brian's helped me, everybody's teamed in, and I appreciate the help, and, I still need help. And, to keep grinding and keep going and try to get better and better every year.
Well, we're happy to have you, and we like the way you're running these days. So what do you got for us for your first pick today?
I'm looking at this Eagles game, this Eagles and this 49ers game. Both of these teams, they're pretty much, trying to get together. Hurts is starting his first season. Garoppolo's back from the injury. They lost their starting running back. I really like the Eagles today on the money line. I know, not too many thoughts into the Eagles winning against Atlanta because Atlanta is pretty much what the 49ers gave up against Detroit. That's got me with the Eagles today. I mean, Detroit ran all over them. And I think Sanders is a lot better back than Swift, myself, catching the ball out of the backfield. You got more weapons on the outside than what Detroit's got with Philly. And I really like this play, getting plus money with the Eagles. We're getting -3 again. You see everybody I see that hammering 49ers thinking this is going to be an easy win. But I look for Philadelphia. They're playing at home anyways. Philadelphia goes crazy when they're playing at home. I really like Philly to win this game.
Joe?
James, I liked what I saw, yeah.
James is giving you a run in the comments department here on the YouTube comments. He's got a lot of fans, too. Joe, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, he definitely does. James, great to finally meet you. I'm loving your pick on Philly today. I'm going to grab them plus the points. I like them, especially as a home dog. They are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games as a home dog. I really like what I saw out of them last week. I underestimated them last week, and I think they come out and really give the 49ers a hard time today, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, I do too. And like I said, another big reason I like going with them, they're at home. And it's nice meeting you too, Joe, for the first time. Awesome to see you and glad you're part of the team.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's awesome here.
Yeah, so Joe and I both had the Eagles in the office pool, so we both did like them outright as well. In our office pool, we just do straight picks, and those of you that haven't entered, there's still time to enter. I'll put a link in the chat comments for that. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think not only the way the Eagles played last week, but also back-to-back road games here for the 49ers, a West Coast team, in the Midwest against Detroit, now going east against the Eagles. It's a long time away from home and a lot of traveling back and forth. And I know these guys are professionals and they travel all the time, but usually teams on the second week on the road, on back-to-back road games, not usually a very favorable spot in the NFL.
And if you look back all the way back to 2015, usually when the Eagles beat the 49ers, they beat them 2 times in a row. They beat them last year, and I look for them to beat them again today.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one, 100%. Not like that Tony Brown pick he brought over here. What else you have for? Go ahead, James.
I also like the over. In this game. I think you see a lot of scoring from both teams in this game.
What is the total in this one?
We're looking at, let's see. The numbers are, all right. So the total is 49, and we're seeing 48.5 and 40 up and 49.5. This is a line shopper special. I even see a 48. So, I see him getting a 50 in this game myself. Yeah, I could see that as well.
Yeah, I look at numbers when I see them hovering right around that 47, 48. Loving hitting that over on them. So I think it's just so easy to go over that number.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games.
Especially for two good NFL teams that as you see put up big points first game of the season. I look for them to do it again today. But the other game I was on, Mitch, was the Tennessee Titans plus 6.5. Guys, I know you look at the first week, Tennessee put up a 0. I mean, they didn't come to play. They had all these superstars. I guess they thought they was just going to get the game handed to them. I look for them, to come and play today. They play better on the road than they do at home. If you look at Henry, he rushed from 2,000 more yards away, on the road than he does at home. So I look for Henry to have a big game here, and I look for if they don't win it straight out, I look for them at least cover 6.5 points today.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm looking to take them plus the points today. When we look at the Titans playing against Seattle, they're 5-1 against that spread. I think Seattle's offense is way too strong, though. I think they do come out and get this win, but Tennessee plus the points definitely has the best value today, you guys.
Yeah, I think we both looked at this one, and Clappy, generally his games, they have like a lot of
clapping.
Well, I think I think that we're going to see a close game. Is what we're going to see. The Titans are a proud team. They're not going to just sit there and say, "Oh, we got shellacked last week," And the Seahawks. I mean, it always looks awkward, right? It always looks awkward. It's kind of like Kansas State in college football, right? It always looks a little awkward, but it always seems to get the job done. And Russell Wilson always looks like he's off balance when he's throwing it, and it always, Lockett always looks like a miracle catch, right? But they seem to continue to get it done. But it doesn't mean that's going to stop the run. And I think we're going to see with the Titans is they fell behind last week, so they couldn't run the football. But I think what you're going to see this week is they're going to pound Derrick Henry right at him. I mean, because that is what makes them a better team. And when teams are pounding the rock, that's what makes for closer games. And I believe we took this in either Circa or Westgate. I'm kind of digging through everything here to see.
We definitely did. I can tell you which one.
We took the Titans in one of those in the Circa or the Westgate.
And also, don't this look like the same game as last week, them against Arizona? You got the same type of quarterback. Wouldn't you think they would want to have a second chance to play Arizona again? Well, they're kind of going up against the same thing. You got a running quarterback that likes to get out of trouble and chuck as far as he can down the field and see if he can hit one of his big receivers. So I look for Tennessee to step up and at least hang with Seattle and scoring today.
Joe and I have that in the Circa contest this week. We have the Titans plus the 6 points. So we're on the same page with you as well. So we like those. Well, James, what do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs for NFL Sunday?
I got my James Clark Mountaineer from Cold to Gold package up. It's got 5 of my best plays that I really like today, all in the NFL. I also got AFC game of the week up today. The 10-star rating game that I really love. Didn't do too well yesterday on college football, but I did hit my 2 10-star plays. So guys, go grab them. And then after we go 5-0 today, upgrade to a longer term, guys. That's usually where it's at is the longer term packages. Try us out for 3, 7, or 30 days, guys. Get more bang for your buck.
So James, just a quick question. So when they allow the fans to leave Mountaineer Stadium at halftime, right, and then re-enter, which they don't allow in any other stadium in the free world, what are the fans doing out there?
Going trying to find who's left at the tailgate and seeing what free alcohol's out there.
So, do they have people stationed with a grill that's their job? They're the halftime committee. They stay outside the stadium. They got the grill fired up with burgers, dogs, and a kegerator or something. Is that what's?
That's what happens when it comes your Saturday stay at the grill. You're staying at the grill and handing out shots, hot dogs, whatever was going on the grill and whatever you got in the jug.
Shots and hot dogs in West Virginia on a college football Saturday sounds like a good time, man. I think they might be onto something over there. They got the grill guy who works at halftime.
It might say Gatorade, but it's not Gatorade.
Yeah, it's
might say Gatorade. I like that.
Well, thanks for joining us, James. We look forward to having you back on the show next week if you can find the time to join us. And, of course, you can find James over at Pick Dogs. He's on the drive-thru a lot as well, so be sure to catch him there. I know he's super popular and all-around good guy. We really like having him here at Pick Dogs.
Appreciate you having me on the show, Mitch, and anytime you need me, buddy, I'm always there.
Thanks, James.
Best of luck today, James, in your picks.
Yeah, you too, Joe. Nice meeting you, and everybody good luck today. Let's cash some tickets.
That was James Clark from West Virginia, fresh out of he went to the game yesterday. What a game to go to, right? And I've been to Morgantown, West Virginia. And like I say, I talk about, on Saturdays more, than on Sunday. I don't go to a lot of, NFL games, but I've been to a lot of college football stadiums and Mountaineers. I mean, West Virginia is just, it's not fun for the visiting team, fans, anyone. They take that stuff dead serious. It was the first place I'd ever seen the artificial turf where they had, I think they were the first ones to have it. The artificial turf where they, instead of having the field like nailed to the ground or whatever, it had the sand on top of it. And I think they were the first ones to do it there. So innovators as well. But yeah, Joe, we got a loaded NFL card. We've only had two cappers so far. We've got we have Chris Ruffalo coming up, Brad Francis, Ron Romanelli, of course, Rod and Brian. And Brian's last, so he can warm up the bus for Rod. But,
I did see that comment, yeah.
But everyone, remember to hit the like button. If you're watching on your phone, what you have to do is, I'll show you guys exactly how to do it, is you go to the, how the hell do you do this? What do you guys do?
We've just got around 500 people watching right now, so thanks, guys, for joining us.
So
and big applause to James for making it to the game yesterday and then making it here so early in the morning. So that's great to see.
So the way that it works is you have us on the phone just like this, and then you hit the little X right there in the chat, and it will drop. And then right here, there's the thumbs up and thumbs down, all that stuff. You just hit the thumbs up, bang, just like I did right there. It will turn the color, and then you go back to the third one over. It says live chat, and there you are, right back. So that's how you do it. It's that easy. So be sure to smash that like button.
Yeah, and you posting that just got 30 likes within like 2 seconds.
Well, that's how
37.
Maybe
Thanks,
guys. Maybe we should say it more often. Maybe we should be like the other guys. But I just thought that when you have Fonzie here with the thumbs up, it pretty much makes the statement, of what you wanted to do. I tell you,
it absolutely does.
Fonzie,
everyone's waiting on Brian.
So 1978, 88, 98, 2008, 2018. So Fonzie is 40-something years old, and he feels like it. I don't know how many more times I could take him off the shelf. Kind of starting to feel his age there. But we've got, like I said, we got a bunch of cappers coming on today. Excited to, for all of them, and a lot of new names that we haven't seen here before. But we've got next up, we have an old name and a good one. But let's see, there he is. It's a little bit. I don't know, Ruffalo. I don't think our system likes you too much, but fix it.
It's okay.
Anyways, we're gonna bring in Chris Ruffalo, who basically he's part of that term, the straight Ruffalo. Chris, you taking a Ruffalo on today's card?
I was gonna say I have a term named after me. How much better could it get here, man? It's jeez.
That was really one of my favorite shows I've ever done. It's like, Chris, what do you think of today's game? It's like, I'm gonna take a pass. It's like, then what are you doing here? What exactly? Why are you here?
It's the only game on the card. It's the bowl game. It's Hawaii and
it's Christmas Eve. There's one game on the card. It's like, Chris, what do you think of today's game? I'm gonna take a pass. It's like, then why are you here? It's like, what?
But now he's famous on the show forever for taking a Ruffalo. Everyone knows what it means now.
Absolutely. He's also the co-host of The Drive-Thru with Tony T, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. right here with a lot of these same cappers that you see here, other cappers as well, cappers that you'll see on this show too. And I'm on the show on Wednesdays, and we'll get Joe Madden in the rotation there as well over at The Drive-Thru for at least a weekly spot. But, Chris, how do you like in today's NFL card? We know that you have a variety. You seem to fluctuate. Either some days you just really love it and have a million picks. Other days it's like 2 or 3 picks. How's today's card looking for you?
I always say that there's 2 really tough times of the year for me in NFL betting and handicapping. It's weeks, 17 or I guess week 18 this year when you really don't know who's going to play. And then it's the first 2 weeks of the NFL season because week 1 you don't really have anything to base off of except some preseason. And week 2 is when you usually get all the overreactions from week 1. So can cloud your judgment, but that's why we're here to clear that up.
Definitely. Week 1 and 2 are always tough. Plus, you also have teams playing their first home game of the year. And this year we'll have a few teams playing their first home game in week 3. The Broncos, 49ers, 2 of the teams that haven't been home yet. And I believe there's a few others out there as well. So I think the Vikings are another one that haven't played a home game either. So, yeah, what do you got on tap for today? What's your first pick?
Oh, my first pick, and no, it's not going to be popular considering you guys just talked about it, but I'm going to take the Niners. I think they were in cruise control in week 1. They were up 38-10 before, they took their foot off the gas, and if you got the line at 8.5, you kind of got shafted on that one. But despite that, I think the Niners looked pretty good on both sides of the ball, and Philadelphia, they tore up the Falcons, but for me, that's not some grand accomplishment when you just look at the state of that team. And it's going to be tough sledding for Jalen Hurts against a top 5 pass defense, despite having a ton of injuries last season. But, even without Raheem Mostert, I think that, I like Jermichael Hasty. I like Elijah Mitchell. Trey Sermon's probably going to see some action as well. I think it's onwards and upwards for San Fran, and, I think the Eagles are going to regress a bit in week 2.
I'll put some word in Rod Zawacki's mouth here. You're a foolish man. Joe?
Yeah, I can't get behind it. Just with Philly's defense, I think they're going to come out so strong. I like Ruffalo. I like what he's doing with that team, but I don't see them getting this win in Philly today.
I think if you have a quarterback controversy and you have, a situation where, you draft a quarterback in the first round, unless your starting quarterback is Aaron Rodgers and there's no controversy, I think when you have a quarterback that struggled in the Super Bowl when you basically had the game won, and you go ahead and you draft a quarterback with one of the top picks in the draft, well, now you have a quarterback controversy, and what that means is that no one has risen to the top of this controversy, and you have 2 kind of mediocre guys. You got a guy looking over his shoulder the whole time. You got a whole team thinking that every time this guy throws an incompletion, you should put the other guy in. What you have is a mess, and I think that the 49ers are going to find themselves in a mess, and we saw the mess in the second half last week against the Lions. Thankfully, we were on the money line in the second half. So be sure to join Joe and I at halftime today for
it's going to be fun.
A lot of halftime shows. I love doing the halftimes, and it's like I've done the halftimes alone for so long, but with Joe, it's even better. I gotta say, we have a good time. But yeah, Chris, got any other bad picks for us?
Probably a couple. I always
just
do.
Kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean,
Hey, I gave out Kansas yesterday on the money line.
Hey,
so
I had,
if we're judging this weekend.
I had Central Michigan against LSU at night in Death Valley. That's dumb. What the hell was I thinking?
And I bet a 4-game simulated Madden parlay back when we had nothing else. So I can't really.
In the rain.
In the rain. We even bet on the Pro Bowl. It was a fun time.
Those are the COVID shows. All 6 people that were watching, but we did show up every day. I will say that.
That we did. But another one I'm going to look at. I'm going to go with some value. I'm going to take the Vikings on the money line. This is another overreaction spot in my opinion. I'm not a Kirk Cousins guy, but people are jumping ship with the Vikings and are riding the Cardinals like Seabiscuit after Arizona dismantled Tennessee. And the thing is, for me, Minnesota battled back from 21-7 in that game against Cincinnati to force overtime, and they put up 5 sacks, which is more than we can say that for the Titans, who did diddly squat against Kyler Murray. But I think the game plan from Minnesota is going to happen where the Titans couldn't execute. The Titans wanted to go Derrick Henry heavy, but they fell behind early, and Arizona couldn't run the ball, force them to go pass first. And I think Dalvin Cook wants to redeem himself here. I think that costly fumble in OT it's been weighing on him for a week, and he wants to keep Kyler Murray and this Cardinals offense on the sideline. Mike Zimmer, one of the best coaches in the NFL in terms of game prep, and I think that Vikings are better than we saw in week 1. But if you like trends, Vikings 6-0 against the spread, coming off a road loss by 3 points or less, 19-9 straight up in their last 28 following a road loss overall. You could take the points if you want, but I'm taking the shot with the Vikings on the money line.
Joe?
Okay, you have more faith in the Vikings than I do. I think the Cardinals squeak out and get this win. I'm looking for a tight game. That being said, the Cardinals on the money line, there's no value there. You guys. Definitely take the Vikings plus the points. When we look at this matchup between these two, the team as the underdog has gone 6-2-2 against the spread. So give me the Vikings plus. I got it at plus 4.5 the other day. I'm not sure what it's at this very moment.
Yeah, I think this was one of those games that we really struggled with on the Circa and Westgate pick show. It was one of those ones where we're kind of like, yeah, I could see the Vikings and everyone's down on the Vikings. The Ruffalo, the same thing that Chris is saying is that, people are mailing it in on the Vikings, and it's, it's normally good year, bad year, good year, bad year. So this would be a good year for them. But I think not being at home for the Vikings really hurts them, because that home stadium is just such an advantage with fans. And we saw last year when they went 3-5 at home, what a difference that makes for them. It's like, normally, 5-3 at worst, 6-2. That is, it's so loud in there you can't hear yourself think. But I think I could also see the other scenario where the Cardinals just blow them out of the building on back, the second end of a back-to-back road swing too for the Vikings. So I think this is one of those tougher games, and I think where Joe and I went in the Circa and Westgate was we were kind of like, oh man, we just feel silly if the Cardinals blew them out by 100 here, and we weren't on it. So I think it's just, for me, it might be a straight Ruffalo for me on this one. I might just stay away on it. But we're seeing some line movement in some other games out here. Tony Brown knocking that Steelers-Raiders game down to 0.5 point at some spots, down to 5.5. And we're seeing that Bears-Bengals game lines just bouncing all over the place. And also that Jets-Patriots game. We're seeing 5.5s out there in that game as well, down from 6. Chris?
Yeah, my last one, I'm going to take the Titans on the money line as well. I love the Seahawks. I love Russell Wilson. But again, I think this is an overreaction to the Titans and how they looked against the Cardinals. The Seahawks, going back to the midway point of last year, they have a solid record. But you look at the list of teams that they played, and it was a list of teams with question marks at quarterback, whether it was injury or skill level. They played guys like Kyler Murray, who was injured, as well as lower-level quarterbacks like Jared Goff, Colt McCoy, C.J. Beathard, to name a few. Now, Carson Wentz was also on that list, but he was also opposite the Seahawks in Week 1. But I think he was still feeling the effects of that ankle surgery, and I don't know how fully cohesive he was given his short training camp and not much of a preseason with his teammates. And Seattle's going to be rocking with their first true home game in almost 2 years, but I'm still not sold on the Seattle defense. The Titans got hit by the hype train in Week 1, and the bandwagoners turned into skeptics real fast. But hype train or not, like it or not, there's still good pieces on this Titans offense. Like, Ryan Tannehill can get these guys the ball, Julio Jones, and this other guy, a running back, Derrick Henry. Yeah, he can chew up clock and make big plays. I think this is a game where the team that has the ball last and scores last wins this game. And at this money line price, I think the Titans are too good for me to pass on.
Joe?
I like your rationality behind it, but I just can't see the Hawks losing their very first home game. You made the point exactly to me that it's their first real home game in 2 years. Give me the Hawks. I can't touch the Titans on the money line. I think the Titans probably cover, but not on the money line for me.
I'm with Joe here. I think the Titans probably cover. But I like the Seahawks and Clappy to get it through there. It's a tough building. But Chris, what's the best thing you've eaten on this road trip? What's I know we don't have to go through the whole list. We just want to know the best thing.
Well, but I already sorted it in alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order. By time I ate it, oh man. Well, first off, I think the new Pick Dogs merch is going to be "I survived a weekend with Joe D'Amico" T-shirt, because I barely made it, but it's an accomplishment in itself. Man, I've got to say it was probably when Joe and Dion took us out to dinner last night. It was a beautiful tomahawk steak, and I couldn't ask for anything better. It was a wonderful dinner at the Palm Steakhouse in Caesar's Palace.
Nice. I'm familiar with it. Nice crab cake over there at the Palm.
Where are you watching the games today, Chris?
I don't know. I actually, funny enough, when I was off camera, I was messaging Tony Brown. We might go watch a couple games at the sports book. Might go out for Sunday night football. But this afternoon, I might just keep the early games on the TV as I try to recover a little bit from yesterday.
Well, Chris, I got to tell you, if you're going with Tony Brown, you got to hit Latai. you gotta hit Let's High downtown. It's outstanding. It is. Tony Brown and I always go there, but we go to a lot of places, but that place is the place.
Is that where you had the chicken satay that you were talking about yesterday?
Oh man, it's ridiculous. The whole place is. I mean, they only have about 10 items on the menu, but every one of them is just one better than the next.
Well, I always say that. I say I'd rather have a restaurant with a small menu that can do stuff great than a big menu and that messes up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they don't mess up anything. What do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
Well, today I got my Sunday Slam NFL 3-pack. 3 games on the board that I absolutely love and that I'm going to want to make a ton of money with today, and I'm going to want you guys to be on there too. But just like Tony said in the first segment, just because we have football doesn't mean we can't have some baseball on there as well. I got a 3-pack for MLB on there as well. Started the climb back from minus 3,000 units in May, and now we're in the positive, so it's been a nice climb back. So get on one of those or get on the long-term packages, whether it's just me or anyone you see on the show, anyone on the website. 2-for-1 capper deal, can't go wrong.
Thanks for joining us, Chris, and of course we'll see you next week. You'll be back in Canada?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Back and ready to move.
Nice.
So.
I would love to help you move, but they won't let me across the board.
Yeah, it's like you're the guy that's at. It's like when somebody asks you to move their fridge. It's like I don't know.
I can't do it. That's why I got rid. I used to have a pickup truck. Got rid of it just for that purpose. Hey, can I borrow your truck? And can you help me move this 8,000-pound dresser? Yeah, I wasn't doing anything else. It's not taco night here or anything. All right, thanks for joining us, Chris. We'll see you next week, and of course Monday through Friday on the drive-through with Tony T.
See you guys later.
Joe, we're going through the cappers here, and so far a lot of good information. A lot of people talking about this, this Eagles game against the 49ers. I know last week, you really like the 49ers. This week, obviously, you're not so much a fan. But
I think this is another one. It's an overreaction for what we saw out of the 49ers that first week, especially going into Philly. We did see a lot out of Philly in their first game. I think the home crowd, the coming back, the finally being at home as a dog, they've got something to prove today. So
they've been so bad. The Eagles were so bad last year. And, it's kind of like, all of a sudden you see it in the NFL all the time from worst to first. And while I thought that division was a runaway for Washington after just the first week, I think Philly might give them a run for their money. And of course,
I don't know if they give Washington a run for their money, but
we'll see. There's a lot of football,
a
lot of football left to be played, and some bad quarterback play in the NFC East. Anyways, we're going to bring in Brad Francis, first time on the show, and of course, Brad's been with us for a while. He's also one of the best MMA guys out there. He really knows his stuff. And Brad, how's it going?
I'm doing well, guys. I appreciate you having me on. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and it's like we're excited to have you. We know that you always have a busy schedule, so we appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And of course, we hope to have you on a bunch and doing a lot more stuff with us as things progress, and as we could always work around just to have you on because we like you that much. But anyways, anything exciting going on in the world of MMA that we should have our eyes?
I mean, yeah, Anthony Smith got a good win last night. The UFC has been a little slow, but things are going to start picking up. I think we have a pretty good card in a couple weeks. So, but other than that, it's been a little slow. Definitely been focused on football much more. So
usually, like as they head into the fall and winter months, and like right around the Super Bowl, they always have a gigantic card as well. Especially, it's usually right out in Vegas as well. So, yeah, a lot of MMA, and we'll definitely be listening to what you have to say about Brad's straight money in MMA. But what do you like today in the NFL?
Yeah, I have 2 games here that I want to give you guys. This first game, I actually wanted to make it a premium pick, but since it's the first time on the show, I want to give you guys a good one here. And I'm loving this under 47.5 in the Bills versus Dolphins game. A lot of people are actually on this over, but I disagree. The Bills had a surprising loss last week, but it wasn't because their defense. They actually were able to shut out the Steelers in the first half. They did a great job containing Najee Harris, where he only had 46 rushing yards. So I don't think the Dolphins will have much success on the ground today. And, when it comes to the Dolphins, I think we're going to see them play at a slow pace this year. I'm not sure if they're at the point where they're ready to let Tua pass the ball deep and pass it downfield. So I think if Miami wants to win this game, they're going to have to control the time of possession, work the ball on the ground, and not let this game turn into a shootout. So, give me the under 47.5 there.
Yeah, they were unable to stop the Bills last year, so I agree with you on the keep away game. Joe?
I'm going to Ruffalo this total. I don't like the total in this one. This one could go either way for me. I am liking Miami plus the points in this matchup. I think what we saw out of Buffalo last week was a surprise, was a shocker. I think going into Miami, there's something about these teams going into Miami that just, give me the home dog plus the points, you guys. I know we have it on our Circa, I believe. Circa pick.
Yeah, we do. We have the Dolphins plus the points, but we don't. The total, and they don't allow the totals in there, but it is an interesting play, and I do believe that I do agree with Brad here that if the Dolphins want to stay in this game, you can't give that ball to that Buffalo offense, because we saw last year what the Buffalo offense did to Miami in a meaningful game. They put, I think, 56 points on them. So the Dolphins have trouble stopping them. So the best way to do that, run the football. 3 down first downs. That's the Flores style. Kind of drag them up and down the field. Try and wear them out. Brad, what else do you have for us today?
Yeah, and then I'm going with the late game today. Chiefs versus Baltimore. I know it's the squarest pick on the board, but it's a no-brainer for me. I think you got to go with the Chiefs minus 3.5 here. I mean, Mahomes is 11-0 in September with 35 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, which is pretty wild. And, the Ravens took a loss in week 1 last week, and I thought they were going to win and cover that game. I got fooled on that one. And then the Chiefs had some struggles early in last week's game as well, but I think the Browns are a team that are going to be really legit and a tough win for any team. So, with the Ravens secondary being banged up and playing the Chiefs, I just don't think this is a good matchup for them. I think Tyreek Hill and Mahomes are just going to take advantage of that banged up secondary. And the Chiefs are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 meetings in Baltimore. I think if the Chiefs are able to contain guys like Darren Waller, I could honestly see a double-digit win here. I mean, just the Chiefs are just too dominant early in the season and have been dominant against the Ravens. 3.5 is a steal, in my opinion.
Joe?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the Ravens are one of these teams we're going to go, I can't believe they're 0-2 to start off the season. I see the Chiefs getting a huge win here and just really dominating. I think the Chiefs got scared last week against the Browns. And with that, they're going to really hit it hard this week.
Yeah, I think what we saw from the Chiefs there was that, what we've seen from them the last, several years, and that is we can spot anybody a few touchdowns or a few points here or there, and we don't have to look that good all the time because we got a guy that all he needs is 5 minutes, can score 14 points and win a game for us. And they did not look so good in the first half of that game against the Browns, but the second half, they got just too many weapons, and the Ravens banged up, just really banged up without Peterson there. I mean, it's like, what are you going to do? I just think that the Chiefs probably just a little bit too much in this one. I got to agree with you. And also, they own the Ravens, too. We're seeing this line bump up to 4 from 3.5.
I'm absolutely loving the over in this. I think the offenses are way too strong. Baltimore's defense is beat up. They've got so many people missing. I think this is a high-scoring one.
We saw the Chiefs' defense give it up last week, too, against the Browns. So certainly vulnerable as well. But Chris Jones is one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I just think that guy is unbelievable. I like defensive linemen that can take over a game. And Chris Jones certainly does that, and he gets paid like it.
Yep.
What do you have for sale today at Pick Dogs? Do you have another game or just 2?
Nope.
2. So,
just those 2.
Awesome.
Chiefs -4, and then the under 47.5 in the Bills Dolphins game. But yeah, I got a NFL Sunday, Super Sunday 3-pack. It's my 3 favorite plays for today's NFL slate. I went with 5 games last week, but I wanna slow it down, go with 3, 3 that I know that I'm very confident in. So check that out, $29.99 at pickdogs.com. We also have the 2-for-1 capper deal. You could team up with me and Ron Romanelli here, the youngins, and then also Rod as well, Brian Bitler. So yeah, come join the team and let's make this money.
That's a Gator and a Knoll in the same combo there. I don't know. I don't know if that's illegal in the state of Florida, I believe. So
yeah, I didn't think about that, but hey, give it a try.
Anyways, Brad, we appreciate having you, and we hope to have you back up, as often as you can make it. Saturdays, Sundays, we got Friday afternoon show that Joe and I do, football preview as well, that you're more than welcome to join us on. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for the insight. Check out all Brad's picks. Like I said, we don't see him a ton on these shows, but we'd love to see more of them, and his picks straight fire. So also look forward to talking some MMA with you in the near future.
Anyways, yeah, sounds good. Appreciate it, Mitch.
Thanks again, Brad.
Good luck, Brad.
That was Brad Francis. See, he is a real person.
That's good.
It's like some of the other sites, like you see these guys on there, it's like, this is not even a real person, but it's like, it's always like, Sharp, something. It's like Brad Sharp, the Iceman.
Iceman.
But a lot of good information there, though. And, of course, hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. Be sure to smash that like button. Well, Joe, we have just our regular cast of characters left to join us today. So, we have Ron, Rod, and Brian on tap. And, of course, right after this show, we'll be doing the premium show. And then after that, the VIP show as well. So be sure to, if you're not a premium or VIP member, it's a great time to do it. You get to use all those cool emojis that people are using in the chat. The abso-freaking-lutely. You got the put words in my mouth. But anyway, speaking about putting words in my mouth, we got Ron Romanelli here. Ron, explain the 2-point conversion yesterday.
I wish I could.
What was that? I understand, and the Gators, hey, they took him to the mat, but losing by 2 isn't good enough. I mean, the expectation at Florida at home is to win those type of games, right? That is the expectation. I understand that they haven't, won a championship in a few years, but the expectation at Florida is to win SEC championships. That is the goal that they go into the season with, and they had them. And you run a play that looks like a Kansas State type play, and it looked like the type of play that Mullen ran at Mississippi State, where the running back and the quarterback are just standing next to each other waiting to be tackled by the defense. I don't understand it. Is there anyone – isn't that where you do the jump pass? Isn't that the Tim Tebow jump pass play? Isn't that the spot? Isn't that – the call there? What am I missing? You had that one receiver, I don't know his name, but he was pretty much beating them all day.
Yeah.
The tight
Copeland
end. Right?
Gamble, yeah. There's a bunch of them that were doing pretty well. But I definitely think on that type of play, you definitely have to be aggressive. Just running it up the gut with the guy with both the running back and the quarterback holding the ball like they were getting married. It was unfortunate, but I think there was a couple of questionable play calls, but I do have to give the Gators credit for hanging in there. But, still plenty of season to go. If they could find themselves in that SEC championship if they keep it up, but Georgia's not going to be easy in Jacksonville because we know how much they can stop the runs, and that's what the Gators have been doing all season, just running the heck out of that ball. But they were able to run in Bama.
There was definitely some good takeaways for the Gators in that game, but I think what the casual college football fan doesn't know is that the Gators go into that game expecting to win. They're not looking to keep it close with Alabama. You're expecting to win. Those are the games you're expecting to win. And it's like, you don't win that game, it's not acceptable that you were close. It's like, especially to lose like that on just I don't understand the call. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't get it. It's like you've climbed the mountain. You've climbed the mountain. It's like, so you stand there with two guys holding the ball next to each other? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it was a tough one to watch, but, we'll see what happens in the rest of the season. Maybe they'll find themselves another chance to play Bama in that SEC championship.
Or they'll get slaughtered by Georgia. Anyways,
Perhaps. I think so.
We got NFL football today, and we could talk Florida miscues in history. We could spend months talking about that. But
I know you can.
Well, I can. Well, there's the whole Charlie Pell era, that we could go through game by game if you like. But anyways, go to the NFL today. What do you got as far as a free play for us?
Yeah, I mean, the free play that I probably like the most, I'm going to have to disagree with somebody. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers laying the points at home. I know the line did drop a little bit, but that just makes me like to play a little bit more because you have to lay less juice there. But, the Steelers, they played obviously really well, a really good game against the Buffalo Bills. But my thing was, although the Raiders did win, big win against the Ravens, got to give them credit there on Monday Night Football, I still wasn't necessarily too impressed with their performance, especially when you look at the offensive and defensive lines. And I know Josh Jacobs is out for this game, but even in the last game, he only ran 10 times for 34 yards, so 3.4 yards per carry, not great there. Kenyon Drake, 6 carries for 11 yards, only 1.8 yards per carry. The biggest run of the night for the Raiders was a Marcus Mariota 31-yard rush there, and he was injured on that play. But I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to run the ball at all against one of the best, if not the best, defensive lines in football in Pittsburgh. I think the secondary is going to force a lot of tough throws on Derek Carr, and I do think the Raiders' offense is going to struggle quite a bit today. On the flip side, I think you're going to see the Steelers run the ball a lot more efficiently than they did last week. Najee Harris didn't have a great game against the Bills, but I do see him and the rest of the Steelers backs having a good game against this Raiders D line that gave up quite a bit on the ground to the Ravens. I know most of that was Lamar Jackson, but Tyson Williams still had 65 rushing yards, only 9 carries. So I think you're going to see a Steelers domination here. I think they win by 7 points. I wouldn't be surprised to see a blowout here. I just think this is a short week, a different time zone, a bad spot for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I like the Steelers at Heinz Field.
All of the above. Joe?
Oh.
I think we lost.
She got offended.
No. I don't know what happened. I think she
Skype keeps kicking us out a little bit, but
it's all right. She'll be back.
Yeah.
We got Brian Bitler sitting there. Not sure what happened. But let me see.
I know she's on those Raiders.
Let's see if we can get Ron back here. We'll get Joe back. We just do what we always do. We make the best of the situation. But yeah, Joe, I know she was on the Raiders earlier. She's back. Of course she is. We got Bitler. There we go. Joe, welcome back. Ron was talking about how much he likes the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't. I think Big Ben's going to have a really hard day against Matt Crosby. Crosby. How I think it's Crosby.
Crosby.
Yes. I think this defensive end is going to be on Big Ben all day long. He, we saw him in the last game just running at Lamar so fast. I think this is going to be a really big game for him. I like him to come lights out and Big Ben to hit the dirt.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, I have to disagree. I just think that the Raiders' pass rush was really good last week against the Steelers, but I didn't think their run defense, as Ron was saying, Tyson Williams, of course, our call for the first touchdown, scored on them, and he had some big runs, and the Raiders' rushing game wasn't quite there. The Steelers, while I expect them to still be able to apply the Raiders. Well, I still expect them to apply pressure to Roethlisberger, who's not the most mobile QB in the world back there, but he can take the hit and throw the ball, which is really his strong suit. I think that the Steelers, the way they alleviate that is they run the football between the tackles and they don't abandon it. They go to it. And Najee Harris is there. I think the other piece of the puzzle is that, like I talked about earlier with Tony Brown, the cheap call in Pittsburgh. I mean, the NFL was built on the cheap call in Pittsburgh. And you have fans in the stands today at Heinz Field with one of the most loyal fan bases in all of the NFL. You go to any sports book in Vegas today, it's going to be an annoying scene with Steeler fans and Packer fans. We know that, right? Even the Packers aren't playing, it'll still be like that. And I don't know. I just think it's just a bad spot here for the Raiders. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're going to be the most improved team in football.
Oh yeah.
I'm just not sure that David Carr has enough here, and I think he probably turns one over. I could see Minkah Fitzpatrick scoring a touchdown for the Steelers today.
Yeah, I could definitely see a defensive touchdown. And like I said, I mean, big win for the Raiders, and I still think they have plenty to go for this season. Wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak in that wild card, but I just think this is a miserable spot. I mean, it's just too much to ask for this Raiders team. Still a pretty young team that hasn't really proved too much yet, but on the year, I still think that they have plenty to play.
Yeah, they have tons of speed. Like Tony Brown was saying, I agree with him on all of those counts. Drake is a speedster, at the running back spot. Maybe lost a step, though. He looks like he might have lost a step. But Ruggs is a flyer. I mean, they have tons of flyers. It's just, I don't think that, it's just a bad place. Short week, road trip, all those things, bad. It's like when you have the short week, when you play on Monday night and then you go on the road the next week, you only get 3 days of practice because Tuesday's like a day off right after. Then you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is travel day, right? Saturday walkthrough, and Sunday is the game. So what do when are you actually practicing?
Yeah. They've got this today, you guys. I'm sorry, I totally disagree with you. The Raiders are coming in here and they're going to win it.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree. Joe Madden
should be a good game.
Joe Madden's here to have an opinion, and she has one. I like that. That's what it's all about. She's not. It's we do things differently here at Pick Dogs, and that's the way that we do it. It's like she's not here to introduce.
We all agree to be a boring show.
She's not here to introduce people, and I will say that a million times. Those of you joining us for the first time, or whether it's the first time this season or whatever, Joe's with us, and she has she knows her stuff. So. Except in that game, Ron.
Except for Kansas, come on.
Hey, you can talk Kansas all you want. I got a list 10 miles long on that. Of Kansas's. I got a whole. we could do a daily show on those. Every day.
As far as my second play goes. I'm going to take a look at that total in the Cardinals-Vikings game. I like the under. I think it's one of the higher totals this week at 50.5. I see it at. But I like the under for a few reasons. First of all, these two teams combined for 11 sacks last week. Cardinals had 6, 5 of them by Chandler Jones alone. And the Vikings had 5. We know sacks can go a long way for cashing unders. Not only do they chew some clock, they also can be drive killers. And I think you'll see plenty of sacks in this game by both teams. I didn't like the way the Minnesota Vikings offensive line looked in that game. They were sacked 3 times by a Bengals pass rush. So I think you'll see plenty of those. And I think Dalvin Cook, although he was given 20 carries, he only had 61 yards. I know he fumbled in overtime. That was a big play. Vikings only had 67 total rushing yards as a team against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now you go in against the Arizona Cardinals, and they're going to struggle to run the ball. And I don't really trust Kirk Cousins in a 4-quarter passing game. I know the Cardinals like to air it out, and Kyler Murray had a fantastic game last week, but I do think they're going to have to focus on running the ball a little bit more in this game. And if they do get up early, I think you're going to see them chew some clock out as well. I think this is we have plenty of wiggle room here. The total's 50.5. It doesn't have to be necessarily an extremely low-scoring game, but I do think we get under that total. So I will take the under 50.5.
Joe?
I don't know. I like the over in this one. I'm sorry. Both these offenses, I think, are going to battle today. The over is 9-0 in the last 9 Vikings games, right? I don't know. I'm not loving that under.
I think the style of the Cardinals lends itself to a lot of possessions, and so it's, can they?
Yeah.
Is it 3 and outs? Or is?
I'm sorry, it's 9-0 for the last 9 Vikings games after a loss.
The under?
The over.
The over. Also, back-to-back road games for the Vikings. Oh boy, I like the over.
I'm not betting it. I'm not betting it at all.
Do you have the over, Joe, and Ron has the under?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to work with Joe 7 days a week, so I'm going to take the over.
Oh, you're a smart man, hey?
I work with Joe 7 days a week, usually 2 to 3 times a day. So, yeah.
That's all right.
Don't need the lucky penny for this one. Got the lucky penny here, though, just in case, in a pinch. Ron, what else do you have for us?
That's it as far as free play goes. But I do have a 3-pack on the website in the premium area, but doing pretty well this week on that 7-day leaderboard. So check that out. I have my favorite plays today in the NFL. Really love these plays. Definitely my most confident plays of the day. And I hope that steel curtain is ready to go at Heinz Field today. I think the Steelers bring it home. All
right. Well, thanks, Ron. And of course, like he said, Ron has been on a heater. Of course, we know that he's one of the best up and coming young cappers in the business, and probably a lot of the guys that you see now that are kind of the legends out there, the Big Owls of and some of the guys on some of the other channels and stuff that you see. Ron is in position to be one of those guys or even surpass everything that they've done because he's at social media and all this stuff from day one, something those guys never had. So setting up to be the future legend of the game, I believe. But Ron Romanelli, even though he's a Gator, we still like him anyway.
Best of luck today, Ron.
Thank you. You too.
Joe ripping through cappers here. A lot of games, a lot of picks, but still a few games out there that nobody has touched. It'll be interesting to see if Brian and Rod go over these.
Chargers.
Of course, we've gone over a lot of games. Yeah, no one's gone over your Chargers game. Is there a game on here that that no one's gone over that you want to maybe pull?
Yeah, my Chargers against Dallas all day long. I don't know why no one is betting this. Maybe it's because everyone's going to give it out in their picks today. This is going to be a great game, you guys. I definitely have a play in this one for the premium VIP show. So make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be a great game. I'm looking for a good one.
Well, Rod doesn't have a play in that game. Let me see. I'm checking Brian. See what Brian has coming on. Brian does not have a play in that game either. Neither of those guys have a play there. So you're solo on that one. But I think we have it in our Circa and Westgate picks, though.
Yeah, absolutely do.
So, but coming up next, we do have Rod. Oops. I messed it up, of course. But we do have Rod coming on the show shortly. And where the hell is he?
You'll find him.
Just follow the bus.
We can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him, but we'll have him in a second. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Rod, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Big Sunday coming.
Yep. Of course, we see Rod every day, 7 days a week here on our YouTube shows with myself, Brian, and Joe. Tomorrow, our morning show moves to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to have your notifications on because I'm sure most of you will say, hey, where's the show? I'm going to get like a million messages. You guys doing a show today?
I love it. I have to do a quick shout out. Mike Gallo, ex-Astro Pitchers, has joined us watching right now. So, Mike, love you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. How are the Stros looking today? Speaking of baseball. We haven't really covered baseball today. We kind of ignore baseball on the weekends, but still, like Tony Brown was saying, there's definitely money to be made there. I made money on the Cardinals yesterday, so definitely there. Rod, what are you looking at today for NFL Sunday? So you got your Dolphins gear on. What do you like?
Well, we're going to start off with a game at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Battle between the Broncos and the Jaguars, who looked not so good in week number 1. Broncos looked great. Jerry Jeudy, no broken ankle in that one. Just a little sprained ankle, so he's not going to play today. But that's good moving down the line for the Broncos. Not a huge loss. He probably won't be gone all season. But Broncos did take a few other injury losses in that one. And you look, Bridgewater had a great start to the year. Melvin Gordon, same thing, 11 rushes, over 100 yards, touchdown. Trevor Lawrence just looked a little bit like the first game jitters. So for me in this one, I think there's too many points here. I think this Jaguars team, Trevor Lawrence bounces back. He's got enough receiver weapons at his disposal to be able to make this a closer game than 6. DJ Chark, he had 12 targets, but he only caught the ball 3 times. You look at Marvin Jones, he had 9 targets and only caught the ball 5 times. I think those two duos right there, they get back on the right page. And Trevor Lawrence has a good outing in his first appearance at home here. You look at the Broncos, 1-5 ATS their last 6 versus the Jags. Also, the underdog in this series is 6-2 ATS their last 8 meetings. Don't know if the Jags can win it outright, but I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars plus the points and the Broncos on their back-to-back road games here. So give me the Jags.
Joe, first home game of the Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence era in Jacksonville. What do you think?
Which tells me right away they should win it to make a statement, but this is one that I am passing on today. I saw too much struggles out of Jacksonville's defense last week, and I'm not loving it. I don't love Denver. I don't like this line. Denver is 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 games. Jacksonville 1-4 in their last 5 covering that spread. I'm not liking it. Completely stay away from me.
I love the Broncos in the spot. I watched that game with the Jacksonville-Houston game, and I got to say, Jacksonville's a straight dumpster fire. I think Urban Meyer could be one of those college coaches that comes to the NFL and just gets absolutely racked up on every single week. He looked absolutely clueless and lost, as Tyrod Taylor looked like a Hall of Famer against him last week. And besides that, then the Texans ran all over him with nobody. Denver's stacked. I mean, they have a bunch of guys at skill positions. Yeah, they're missing Jerry Jeudy, and I think Deshaun Hamilton also out for this one. Yeah. But Hamler, the guy that I liked in last year's draft and the second-round pick last year, this guy's a star. I mean, this guy is a superstar and a guy that, he's one of those playmakers that we saw him against Ohio State when he was at Penn State, basically take over the game and, got the cover all by himself. They didn't win. They didn't, it was him against everybody, but he did cover the game by himself, which is pretty incredible at the big house. I mean, at the Horseshoe. But, the thing is that, Jacksonville just stinks. I mean, you don't get that first, they don't just give that first overall draft choice to anybody. You got to take it to a whole nother level. I mean, they were worse than the Jets last year, and Gase was coaching the team. This is how bad it's not going to turn around overnight, and you have to remember that one of those first-round picks that they had is out for the season too, in Etienne. So, he only caught 5 passes of the 11 that he was on because these guys, it was a jailbreak on every single play, defensively. You don't go into Houston. I mean, the Texans were home dogs in that game. I mean, how offensive is that, It's like they went in and just racked them. I think Jacksonville possibly 0-16 this season.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I like the Jags here.
Straight dumpster.
I don't know if they win it outright, but this is a field goal game all day.
Yeah, that's what Jacksonville's going to score, a field goal, and Denver's going to score about 50.
When you look at this game, though, the line opened at 2.5 for Denver as a favorite, going up to 6. Not loving it. I can hear what you're saying, Rod, but again, I got no faith in either of these teams. I think they're both dumpster fires, in my opinion. I have to. Denver's in my division. Not a fan.
So that's a little bit of spite in that pick. I like that. Spite works.
I'm just staying off it. I'm completely off this game.
Rod, what else do you like?
And the next one I like, another team that looked like a dumpster fire in week 1 was this Atlanta team. And I'm going to take Atlanta plus the points over the Bucs. Brady did as usual. Got the ball last possession, drove down the field. They kicked the field goal, got a win. Didn't get a cover in that one. You look, he's got the same cast of characters catching the ball. Antonio Brown got a touchdown. Goodwin got a touchdown. Gronk got a couple touchdowns. But Brady did throw a couple interceptions in that game. You look, Matt Ryan did as usual, 21, 35, 164 yards. Didn't turn the ball over, so that's going to be a big difference for me. You look at the Falcons, they bounced back in week 2. They're 14-3 their last 17 games in week 2 against the number. I think this is just way too many points here. Bucs just want the win. They're not looking to blow teams out by 21 here. I'll take the Falcons plus the points in this one.
Joe.
No way. Not after the Bucs are coming off against a spread loss to the Cowboys. They expected to have a big win, big statement in that game. I think their first home game coming into this one here, they're going to make a huge statement. They're going to crush them today. So sorry, I'm totally against you on it.
I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. I'm with Rod here. We're going to have to team up on you here. I just think that teams that play each other in the same division are built to play one another. And the Falcons, while they lost some key players, and they're on the Keanu Neal's on the Cowboys now, but I just think that they have enough. Like Rod said, I think the Bucs probably win this thing. It's probably 6 or 8 or 9 points in that range. I think this is just too many. I think it also leaves the back when you have 13 points in an NFL game, it leaves the back door open because garbage time is real. And you have to watch out for it. It's not a game I'm rushing to. Believe me, there's 14 NFL games today. You guys know I bet liberally, but this is one that I don't have any action on. Rod?
And another play. Well, I know I'm definitely going to butt heads with Joe because I already heard what she said on this one. So I'm going to go with the Sunday Nighter. I'm going to take the Sunday Nighter. I'm going to take it under the total. I think the only way that Baltimore wins this game is with their number 1 rushing offense. So Baltimore controls the clock, and they run the ball, and they want to chew the clock and keep it away from Mahomes. The longer they hold the ball running it, the better it is for them if they want a chance to win this game. You look at Baltimore last game, they were definitely in control of it till the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden points came in aplenty, and we went into overtime. We got another 7 and went over the number. You look, Chiefs, they're 15-6 their last 21 in week 2 to the under. The under is also 7-3 their last 10 after scoring 30 in a previous game. You look at the Ravens, 4-0 to the under after accumulating 150 yards rushing in the previous game. Ravens 4-1 to the under their last 5. They're also 11-5 to the under their last 16 versus the AFC. I think this is a close tight game, and it's only because Baltimore Ravens run the ball and win the time of possession in this one. So give me the under.
Well, Joe, Rod threw you under the bus there. It wasn't enough that he gave the pick. He had to call you out on it too.
Yeah,
so
he absolutely did.
So much for the warm fuzzy sucking up period of the Welcome to Pick Dogs crew. I think that might be
I love
over
Brian for that. That's okay. No, but Rod, look at the fact last year. So last season they played each other 3 times. What was their average score the last 3 games last season? 3 times, 55.3 points.
But Baltimore was healthy then too. They had a lot more weapons at his disposal. For me, it's large action. The only chance they have to win this game. They can't play a shootout. They play a shootout in this game, they're toast. Chiefs win this and blow the snot out the doors. Because you look. Ravens are also missing 2 key cornerbacks in this game with Humphrey and Smith out. So I think Baltimore Ravens, I think they're going to have to change their defensive stack where they like to play man-to-man. I think they're going to have to play a little more zone with these 2 guys out. They can't play man-to-man on corners against these Chiefs and expect to that's what my take is this. Yes, normally you figure you're going to get a shootout, but The only way that I see Baltimore getting a chance to even come close to making this game close is running the ball down their throat, burning the clock, holding on to that ball with dear life, and not giving it up to Mahomes. The less you give Mahomes a chance, he can throw the ball downfield and air it out and score in like 5 seconds. Oh, Baltimore doesn't want that. That's why I like the under, because I think they got to control the clock. And if they don't do that, you get a blowout, one-sided. Chiefs kick the snot out of the Ravens if you hit the over.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm on KC, so that's why I'm also on this over. That's what I see. Everything that you are saying to me right now makes total sense why you're on that under. I completely hear everything you're saying. So I could get behind that if I was with Baltimore, but I don't think Baltimore comes out and gets this cover today. So I'm on KC. I think Baltimore makes some mistakes. They try to throw this ball and not run the clock, which is exactly how they should if they want to win it. I agree with you, but not with your pick. I agree with your rationality, not your pick.
Far be it from Lamar Jackson to spring some big plays. Anyways, I think I'm with Joe on this one. I like the over. But anyways, Rod, what do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
For me over at Pick Dogs, I got 5 plays. I got 3 best bets in the morning action, and I got 2 best bets in the afternoon for my NFL Sunday big ticket. We went 4-1 last Sunday. Let's see if we can duplicate that, or even better, and sweep the board. Jump aboard, Pick Dogs Premium, my NFL Sunday big ticket.
Of course, Rod will be with us on the Premium Pick Show and the VIP show today, so be sure to sign up for that as well. Rod, we'll see you in a few minutes on the Premium Pick Show.
Sounds good. See you in a bit.
Joe, that was Rod, and those of you that haven't seen Joe before or haven't seen our show or whatever, there you saw it. She's got an opinion. She cares, and she's not Rod.
I always seem to disagree with Rod.
Not afraid to mix it up there. That's for sure. And but anyways, well, we're getting close to kickoff here. We're about an hour and a half away. We're doing pretty good on this show. Actually, staying on topic, which is something that I'm not great at. But Joe, any surprises here from the Cappers, what you're hearing outside of Rod's pick there?
Any surprises?
Like that so many are on some
really.
team? It's like,
no, nothing that's like really blown my mind that's sticking out so far on what they're behind, because when our Cappers give out their bets, they have so much stats and rationality and everything behind it. It's not like they're just saying, hey, take the Raiders today. There's a whole lot of reasons. The only time I disagree with them is when my reasoning is different. So nothing surprises me so far today.
Yeah, I think what surprises me the most is that Romanelli is willing to go out in public wearing that Gators hat. Anyways, let's bring Brian in, our last capper for the day. Brian, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Why would Romanelli be? He should be proud. His Florida Gators almost knocked off the Alabama Crimson Tide, a team that you said was going to wipe the floor with them. Well, so they played good.
If you understood college football at all,
I do.
The game and the psyche, and as we discussed with Romanelli, coming within 2 points is not what the Gator fans want, hope, or expect in that game. They want anything short of winning that game is a major disappointment. And
Alabama's super team.
It doesn't matter.
Can't be beaten.
Yeah, but that's who they play. That's who they play. And the Gators, when you get the number one choice of talent in the state of Florida every single year, you get the pick of the litter. The expectation is to win SEC championships every single year. And
I was proud of them.
Well, you're not involved. You're not involved. See, Brad Francis and I were grinning from ear to ear that they lost. It was a heartbreaker.
That's all right. They can lose, but as long as they cover the spread, that's all that counts.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between actual college football fans bases and
that's true.
Betting on games. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But anyways, believe me, I can tell you this much. That record crowd in the swamp, they could care less about covering the point spread. I could tell you that much. They could care less.
I think that's what kept it close was that crowd.
Could care less. Anyways.
Yeah. So everyone's asking what time the halftime shows will be, Mitch, and I know the halftime shows will be at halftime. I don't know what to say.
Maybe halftime.
Halftime.
When the first halftime kicks off, right?
Right. We go there, and it's like we're not exactly. So depending on the timing of the halftimes, we have all the games up, and we see, like, say if there's one game that's an outlier though, that's like way early to the half. we'll probably pick that game up a couple of minutes into the half, maybe 3 to 4 minutes into the half. But in general, they all go to halftime at about the same time. So Joe and I will be on for the early halftimes. Then the afternoon halftimes are just for premium and VIP members. There's 4 of those, and that's going to be a long halftime show because there's 2 games that start at 4:05 and 2 that start at 4:25, which is why we never really do those halftimes at that time. But we'll probably pick those up depending on how they go, maybe a little bit into them, because it's going to be such a long show. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football. I mean, we normally go on the night games with like 10 seconds left to go in the half. Joe and I are already on. So we're chomping.
You are the king of halftime, that's for sure.
Well, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Brian thinks I should charge for all halftimes. So if you want to give him the thumbs down, feel free.
Wow.
What do you got for us today, Brian?
Anyway, I'm going to agree with Joe with my first pick today. I'm not loving the way that this line's moving, but I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers laying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers laying the points here. I think this number is set ultra high to reduce the book's exposure here on Tampa Bay, as usually 12 or more points is a rarity in the NFL as far as spreads go. Buccaneers look to be a little off on defense last week, and I think that's going to be a point of emphasis from the coaching staff. Matt Ryan, very limited on the weapons he has today. I think this game has blowout potential written all over it, how close the Buccaneers played last week. Falcons 1-5 against the spread last six games in September. This team usually doesn't start out too fast. Home team in this series, 6-2 against the spread last 8 matchups between these two teams. I'm going to play the Buccaneers, lay the 12.5. I like them at 13.5, so of course at 12.5 I like it.
Joe?
I agree with Brian. Thanks, Brian, for coming on the show. I appreciate you here.
Oh, I have to defend. You were 100% right.
No one sucks up to Joe like Brian. I'm gonna take. I'm on the other side in this one. I just think these divisional games are just meant. These teams are built to play one another, and I just think that that's a lot of points to be laying. I think the Buccaneers win this game. I don't think they even have to expend much, to do it. I think they could even win by double digits, by 10. But that doesn't cover the spread. 13 points in an NFL game is a ton. We saw the Lions last week. It's like, this happens. We've seen garbage time. I mean, Brian's a fantasy football player, so he knows. Garbage time counts, and the points scored.
Well, you know me. I like crappy teams. Yeah. Normally, the Falcons would be a play that I would be in on. I just have a feeling Tampa Bay is going to roll them by 21. But
we saw some holes on that Bucs team as well. I mean, Dak Prescott, fresh off of what looked to be a career-ending injury, threw for 500 yards against them. It's certainly there, and Matt Ryan certainly has the weapons to do that. I expect that the Falcons put up a fight here. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they at least put up a fight. We've seen this in the NFC South of all divisions, where a lousy team beats a good team. They'll sweep them. I think the Bucs, when they were lousy a couple of years ago, swept the Saints, who were like the best record in the NFC. They swept them. They went into New Orleans and beat them like the second week of the season in this like exact spot. Beat them by like 30. So I mean, in that division, it just happens. And of course, this is the NFC South. I think the thing is about the NFC South that makes it a little bit different. It's not the sexiest division in football, but I think that those teams geographically are all right next to each other, and they really do not like each other. Where some of these other divisions, it's more traditionally aligned, like the NFC East. Dallas isn't anywhere near New York. AFC East, Miami isn't anywhere near New England.
But you're looking at an Atlanta team though that just lost to Philly hugely. And correct me if I'm wrong. They were the favorite, right? They were the favorite. They were at home, right? And they lost this game 32-6 against a Philly team that no one expected to come in and do it. I don't think they're going to have the confidence going against the Bucs today.
They were just trying to bait you in.
And you talk about the Jaguars, the Falcons might be the worst team in the NFC. They might not win a game this year.
The Falcons?
Yeah, the Falcons. I think the Jaguars are – and I totally disagree with your Jaguars pick. I think Jaguars definitely – I agree with Rod and Hot Rod there. I think the Jags –
no one ever said you weren't a fool either. But anyways, Obviously, you didn't watch the game last week. You probably had the.
Well,
Jags
I watched the
last week, too,
game.
when they
I
got
watched all
slaughtered.
the games at once. I watched the Red Zone channel with all the games on at the same time.
Yeah, I watched the actual game, not just team score.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's another discussion. We could talk about that. tomorrow.
Jaguars easy coverage.
We could talk about tomorrow when we have 12 Major League Baseball games and one NFL game to talk about. Tomorrow's show at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, remember to smash the like button for this show. It's super easy to do it. All you got to do is take the chat window that you're looking at right here on your phone. You hit the little X like that. It will drop down. All of a sudden, you see the thumbs right there. You can hit the thumbs up. You can do everything. You can subscribe. You can hit the thumbs up. And then you just go right back. You click the third button over, live chat, and there you are. You're right back. So be sure to do that. This is like, I still am never going to get used to this phone. Romanelli made me get this phone. He's like, you should have the iPhone, whatever. I'm surprised you have I had like the Jerry Jones flip phone. I didn't really have the Jerry Jones flip phone, but
I thought you still had the BlackBerry.
No,
whatever they called it.
Something like that. Anyways, Brian, what else you got?
All right, for my second game, this is the third time we're covering this game, but I'm taking a different take on it. I like the Seattle Seahawks here laying the points. I got 6.5 right now in my book, but to me, it looks like a trap line all the way to take the Titans here. On paper, Tennessee Titans are the better team, but as one of my good friends on the site says, the game's not played on paper, played on the field. And here you have the home opener for the Seattle Seahawks, one of the best 12th man in football. I think the Seahawks definitely, I don't know who could argue that they don't have the best home field advantage in the NFL. Those fans are going to be rocking in Seattle. Titans got exposed last week at home against Arizona, and now they have to take it to the road. To me, it's Seattle Seahawks all day, at least a 7-point win.
Oh, Joe.
Sorry, someone just wants to know how to heat up a pancake.
Ooh, microwave.
Okay, so you know what? We've talked this game. I think the Titans are going to get the cover. I agree with you. Seattle has one of the best home advantages. I just don't like this line. I think that's 6 points. I think the Titans battle this one out and get that cover on it. So I'm going to have to ride the Titans plus the points. I do think Seattle wins, but Seattle on the money line, unless you're throwing it in a parlay, you guys don't take Seattle on the money line. That's way too high of juice for me.
I'm seeing six.
Seattle.
I'm seeing 6.5 and 7. So the squares are jumping aboard the Clappy train.
No way, man. They want to bait you into taking those Tennessee Titans. Oh my God, I get the Tennessee Titans at a touchdown. Woo! No, it's not that easy. Not in Seattle.
How did that go? How did that go exactly?
Just the people getting all excited.
How do they bait me in, Brian?
With plus points.
How do they bait me in?
They want to give you that what you think is an easy line at +7. So I don't.
No,
see
we
it.
thought it was easy at 6.
Seahawks Seahawks 5-0 against the spread in September. Usually they start out hot. It's not easy to win in Seattle, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens.
Titans are a team that we've seen them in playoff games come up big on the road historically under Vrabel. So I think that you might not be. I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Let's go to your next. Gem, Brian. What do you got?
That's it. Well, that's it. Only 2 today. The third one I moved to my YouTube Premium, so I'm all out of games today.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to cover the other game because that one.
I know. I thought everybody was doing 3.
That one I actually agree with you. So.
Well, yeah. I think that's the better of the 3, and I decided to make that the YouTube Premium.
Let me pick a game here that we haven't gone over then. And,
sure. Go ahead. Any game.
All right. We'll pick a game that we have not gone over on the show. I think we've covered almost everything. Let's see. Oh, the Bears and the Bengals. We did not cover this game on the show. Oh. And we did not cover Houston, Cleveland. Oh, we did. Didn't James Clark cover Houston, Cleveland?
I believe he did.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Oh. No, we have not gone over New Orleans, Carolina, Houston, Cleveland, or Cincinnati, Chicago. Any of those 3?
Well, I could do Houston, Cleveland because the other 2 are premiums. To me, it's a Cleveland Browns play. I know this is another game where I'm laying monster points here, but I think the Browns, after last week letting one slip away in Kansas City, this Browns team running the football, tremendous defense, and the Texans, they got lucky and won a game last week. Those Cleveland fans aren't very forgiving here. I'm going to lay the 13.5. I think Browns win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Joe?
Yeah, I like the Browns in this matchup, definitely. I think they come out strong. I like them at home. It's going to be a good game, you guys. And I'm off the Texans. I think I have them as the worst team in the league. We saw a surprising upset last week. I don't think we're going to see that again. I need them to be the worst team in the league. I took them at plus 2,800 at the start of future for the worst team in the league. So Give me Browns.
I think you're in trouble on that bet. I don't think they're nearly as bad as you think they are, and I think there's a few teams I could already see that are worse than them. But it's tough to tell. It's tough to tell after the first week. It always is, and of course there's going to be some big injuries, and there's going to be guys that get arrested and all that other stuff. Get thrown off the team. Guys caught with hookers.
There's nobody worse than the Texans.
It happens all the time. Here, I'll ruin the pick for Brian. We'll do the lucky penny on this one. Heads for the Browns, tails for the road team. Oh, the lucky penny agrees with you, but I'm on the other side.
Oh gosh,
Brian hates the lucky penny because it owns him. Anyways, Brian, what are you selling today?
Well, I'll tell you what. 11 of 5, 69% NFL run. I got my Pound Zone 5-pack, all 5 NFL plays, $50 at pickdogs.com, or just subscribe to YouTube Premium or VIP, and you'll get at least 1, maybe 2 of those picks.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Brian. Of course, we'll see you every day on our live show at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on weekends, and, of course, on our YouTube Premium. Brian gives out premium picks, and then on our VIP show, Brian gives out at least one of his picks that he's selling for a lot more money elsewhere. So be sure to sign up for the VIP and the premium if you haven't done so already. We'll see you in just a couple minutes for our premium show. Brian, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, Joe, that wraps up another big NFL Sunday here at Pick Dogs. Well, it doesn't wrap it up. It kind of just gets us started. Of course, we'll be here for halftime of the early games. Sign up for your notifications, subscribe to our channel. And, like I said, the way that the halftime works is that generally when the first game goes to the half, we're here. Unless there's a game that's just way ahead of everything else where they're just running the football every play and it's way ahead, then we'll pick it up a couple minutes into the halftime. Then we stay until the last game goes to kickoff. And that's what it works. And then for Sunday night football and Monday Night Football, we're usually on a few seconds before they actually go to the half. So we're here, we're loaded, we got the odds, we're ready to go, and chomping at the bit to give out some picks. But anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. I gave out a parlay on YouTube. I did a YouTube parlay video for the NFL, but let's see if I can get one out. I don't know.
What you got?
Let's just go against Brian's 3 picks. No, I'm just kidding. I'll parlay up against all of Brian's and Rod's picks, except for the ones that I agreed with.
Okay, I'm going to do one. I'm going to take Miami on the money line. I think they have this game today. Give me Miami. Give me the Bucks. And last one, Seattle. So you got 2 favorites, 1 dog in that one. Should pay out pretty good.
I'm taking Seattle money line.
Yeah.
All right, so Seattle money line, but you like Titans with the points, so right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. All right. I'll take the Houston Texans with the Atlanta Falcons and Houston Texans, Atlanta Falcons, and the over in the Sunday night game with the Ravens and the Chiefs. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you guys are the stars of the show. And, of course, without you, well, we'd be talking to ourselves, which we do anyway. But anyways, thanks, everyone. We appreciate you guys. Remember, tomorrow's show starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, new time on the weekdays. We'll see how that works out. And, of course, VIP premium show coming up right after this. VIP probably 5 minutes or so following when that is posted. And then we'll see you guys at halftime. I'm looking forward to that already. It's like, you wake up on NFL Sunday, the games haven't even kicked off. I'm already ready to bet halftime. Joe, once again, thanks. It's like, thanks for co-hosting with me. Definitely takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Yeah, it's a great way to start Sunday morning. I'm like Saturday morning. No, it's Sunday. Sunday fun day.
See, now you know that she's working with us. She doesn't even know what day it is.
I don't know what day it is.
That's part of the prerequisite of working with us. Anyways, thanks everyone. We'll see you guys in just a few hours for halftime.